Hey, Banana, how are you doing? I am really, really hoping that my voice cooperates with me tonight. We will see. And if not, we'll probably figure out something else to swap over to. But I don't plan on starting the next case today. I just plan on getting to the end of this one, and then we'll do a break game. But yeah, anyway. If I'm not mistaken, we just hit the BRB, or not BRB, the to be continued bit. Yeah, we're not in the middle of court. Were you able to sleep last night?
Huh? Oh, sleep. Sure I slept. For a grand total of 0 hours.
Guten Morgen, you two. You look like you're ready to put on a real show. But before you do, I have a good luck gift for you. The voice print analysis came back, and the results couldn't be more clear. The voice in the mock trial video and the tape recording are one and the same.
In other words, the recording's a fabrication.
The lab is continuing their study of the tape. So far, they've found signs of overdubbing. But it's going to take a bit longer to recover the audio that was erased.
Who's there? Wait.
Did you see who it was?
No. I got a quick look, but they got away. I think it might have been Hugh. I bet he was eavesdropping.
I wonder if he saw our hand.
Oh, I'm sure he wasn't the only one just now. I bet Robin and Box Girl were listening in too. I will make sure they don't make a run for it. That is my final gift to you.
Okay, all that's left now is to reach out to the truth. That's a song from Persona 4. Golden, I think.
I think it's a Golden exclusive song. Because Reach Out to the Truth is the battle theme from Golden, right? Like the new one. Time for a mini Chords of Steel workout. I'm Apollo Justice and I'm fine. Your turn.
I'm Athena Sykes and I'm fine.
I hope that my Athena voice sounds alright. Think I'm doing alright, but like my throat's been being weird the last little bit. If we can make it to a good stopping point, aka if we can make it to the end of this case today, which we should be able to, because this should be the last court segment. I'm gonna take a break from this game. You know, weirdly enough, I've been having a really big desire to play Bravely Default. This game is so slow. Eh. My tracking broke when I coughed.
Court will now reconvene for the trial of Juniper Woods.
The Sykes Brigade is totally psyched. I mean, the defense is ready, Your Honor.
Prosecution is as well. I mean, isn't that right, Prosecutor Blackwell?
Yeah, they do tend to be pretty slow. But yeah, I've been really wanting to play Bravely Default lately, which is really weird because, like, Bravely Default is a weird ass, like, it's long. It's a long game. Sorry.
Yes, well, moving right along. Yesterday's adjournment was unexpected, yet necessary. But I'll be running a tight ship here today, so no funny business from anybody. Understood? Your baldness. Robin Newman and Hugh O'Connor have recanted their confessions. But later, I shall grill them at leisure to find whether I can charge them with perjury.
Perjury mentioned?
Well, this sure complicates matters. Still, one must not overlook the facts.
Man, really? I might need to switch games. I might need to switch games. My throat's not doing so hot. I'll go for a little bit longer, but if it keeps if it keeps as it is, I'm gonna swap games.
How about the school camera photo that was submitted yesterday? A pity, but that evidence is no longer relevant to this case. The art room clock runs fast. It cannot function as an accurate measure of time. As for the bungling detective who overlooked that, he is paying for his failure as we speak.
Poor Detective Fulbright. I hope he returns to work with all of his body parts intact.
But if that's the case, then what will we? The accused is the sole person who could have moved the body from the art room to stage. And I mean to prove it here this day.
It's just like Detective Fulbright said. But what else does he have up his sleeve?
My understanding of this heinous crime is thus. The murder took place near the center of the art room, as evidenced by the blood stain. Blood was also found on some pottery next to the window over the maintenance area. Which is to say, the body was carried over to that very window. From there, it was dropped down to the maintenance area below. And though there was nary a scratch to the body aside from the fatal wound, that too was per the script. A high jump mat was employed to cushion the fall. Then a ball cart was used to haul the body over to the stage.
That's not very clever. I mean, it's the same exact body moving scheme as the script. Anyone could have moved the body that way.
Objection!
Your propensity to spew forth words before you think is not very clever either.
Why, you...
Moreover, the prosecution has a witness, which is more unfortunate for you. Witness, it is time for you to come forth. Well then, will the witness please state his name and occupation? Hugh O'Connor. I'm a senior at Temis Legal Academy, and I'm studying to be a lawyer. Yesterday I told that lawyer there that I would testify to the truth. So I intend to cooperate fully in today's trial. Happy now, Miss Sykes?
What's he up to now?
The court appreciates your cooperation, Mr. O'Connor. Now, your testimony, please. The lecture hall was packed before the mock trial, but the rest of campus was empty. That's when I saw Juniper dragging a large mat from behind the stage. Can I stop getting spots on my glasses, please? Or at least not spots that are like directly in front of my eye so that they catch the light and make me see them. I was watching her from a vantage point between the stage and the maintenance area. She was heading toward me, so I assumed she was on her way to the maintenance area. But I didn't have the time to stand around and see what she did after that. The real truth hurts so much, doesn't it, Miss Sykes? Or maybe you thought I was going to bring up something else entirely against your client.
Never a snappy comeback when I need one.
He's coming straight at us today, using any means possible. To protect the students who had to climb up high when setting up the stage. Matt was brought over to the stage from the storehouse.
Our client is the student council president. What's wrong with her taking it upon herself to put the mat away after they'd used it?
Objection!
Oh, there's plenty wrong. There is but one mat in the entire school that could cushion a fall from such lofty heights. Ergo, the mat in question was indispensable to moving the body.
It sucks being the last to know everything.
I think I get it now. The drag marks we saw behind the stage were made by the mat. If the only mat of that thickness was where the body was assumed to have dropped. It'd be hard to deny a possible link to this case. We're off to a bad start again. You sure you're okay, Athena?
It's game on, Hugh. Game on. I'm gonna turn your arrogant perfect score grin into a teary-eyed frown of failure.
Yeah. The lecture hall was packed before the mock trial, but the rest of campus was empty.
Hold it! Hold it! Hold it right there!
What? I was just getting to the important part.
Eager to unsheath your blade, Sykes-Dono. Your heavy breath heaves to where I stand.
Objection!
How rude! A human's breath doesn't travel anywhere near that far.
So the only issue is distance. You're not denying that you're a heavy breather.
I'm just saying that scientific studies have proven that it's not.
Hang in there, Athena. No matter how many insults they hurl, it won't affect the judge's opinion of you.
What about my own self-esteem?
Let's get back to what happened before the mock trial. That's when I saw Juniper dragging a large mat from behind the stage.
Hold it!
Our client was simply putting the mat away. It had nothing to do with this case.
Objection!
That is where,
Whoops.
that is where you're wrong.
There is but one mat in the entire school that could cushion a 3-story fall.
Why did you spell story like that?
Is that how story with regards to like floors in a building is spelt? It's the British spelling. Ah, okay. Hence, the mat dragged by the accused was essential to moving the body.
Ugh. If we win this one, I promise to donate another thick mat to the Academy.
Now show me how to show you the truth. You'll have my full cooperation. I was watching her from a vantage point between the stage and maintenance area.
Oh, whoops.
Hold it!
Mr. O'Connor, are you positive you were standing exactly where you said?
I was between the stage and the maintenance area, and she was behind the backdrop.
He's sticking to his guns. The issue here is where he was standing when he says he saw Junie. But nothing I say will mean anything without evidence. Time to dig a little deeper.
Oh, and before you ask, I had my glasses on. Therefore, I'm positive it was Juniper. That's not an issue.
So story spelled with an EY is specifically how like the building floors are denoted. Interesting. So I'm gonna go ahead and save here because see, I think my issue with that statement is the fact that he's looking at it perpendicular to the wall. And so I think that I need to present that somehow, but like...
She was heading toward me, so I assumed she was on her way to the maintenance area.
Hold it!
You shouldn't assume anything. It only shows that you're not positive.
Objection!
Such wild momentum. Perhaps you were a raging bull in your past life.
Objection!
Don't compare me to some stupid farm animal.
Boy, Justice Dono.
Our assertion is Juniper was simply putting the mat away. In that case, where would she be taking it?
Oh, To the storehouse, over in the maintenance area.
Precisely. Therefore, there is naught wrong with the witness's judgment in this matter. It is your wild charges that are the issue here. But I cannot help if you keep seeing red. He's going to get a face full of justice, Apollo style, if he keeps that up. Is that what you told Clavier last night, Apollo? Anyway, I saw her heading toward me. But I didn't have time to stand around and see what she did after that.
Hold it!
Then it's entirely possible that someone else moved the body, correct?
Objection!
Are you mad or merely delusional? Everyone was in the lecture hall before the mock trial. The rest of the campus was empty. Ergo, the only probable suspects were the 3 trial participants.
I know. Thank you for stating the obvious. I also know that you, Hugh O'Connor, were one of the participants.
Mr. Confident sure goes all out when he tells the truth.
Well, I don't think he meant for any of that to be misleading, but it doesn't make it factual.
Careful now, Athena. Genius like Hugh could be leading you right into a trap. Hey, Black Quill just socks him.
I'd be surprised if he wasn't, but all I can do is charge forward with both eyes opened.
See, I'm gonna go ahead and present this. I do the Junie voice, but I don't want to burn through my use of the Junie voice too soon, because we're gonna have to read her dialogue out later in the epilogue of this case at the very least.
Objection!
Really?
Your Honor, members of the court, please look at this. That's right, there's no need to explain anything. This piece of evidence says it all.
All that says to me is you're completely wrong.
I guess that won't fly.
Hold it!
Let's see.
Objection!
Simply putting the mat away, nothing to do with this case. That's where you're wrong. Hence, the mat dragged by the accused was essential to moving the body. If we win this one, I promise to donate another thick mat to the academy. Show me how to show you, now show me how to show you the truth. You have my full cooperation. Oh, did I just present that on the wrong statement? I might have just genuinely presented that at the wrong statement.
Objection!
I genuinely just presented it on the wrong statement. That's frustrating.
So, you saw the back of the stage from between the stage and the maintenance area. Well, let's take a look at this photo taken by Miss Scuttlebutt, shall we? This photo shows the student setting up the stage the day before the mock trial. Do you see the big construction screen to the right of the stage in the background here?
Why, yes. In fact, there were a bunch of those next to my house until just a few days ago, too. So noisy behind there, but I couldn't take a peek. Oh, how it piqued my interest.
Exactly, Your Honor. You cannot see past such screens. That is their purpose. Now let's see. How exactly is that screen positioned again? Aha! Since it was to the right of the stage, it should be right here. And from this vantage point, the witness claims to have seen our client behind the stage backdrop.
Oh my! The screen would have been completely in the way.
That's right. Therefore, the witness couldn't have possibly seen our client from this point.
Youch. Order! Order! Mr. O'Connor, have you been lying to this court?
The screen. Right. It must have slipped my mind.
What? Are you telling me, you, Mr. Genius, forgot something as literally big as that?
There are two kinds of memory lapses. The normal kind you mouth breathers have, and the genius level lapses of memory that people like me have.
Why don't you just admit that it was a normal, everyday brain fart already?
The witness, now please restate what he remembers minus the lapses of memory.
That's easy. I was on the other side of the screen. In other words, I witnessed Juniper from the stage side of the screen.
Objection!
You're testifying that our client was behind the stage. But need I remind this court that the back of the stage is not visible from the front. To actually see our client behind the stage, from the stage side of the screen, the witness himself would also have to be in the same area behind the stage. But in that case, our client would have definitely seen Mr. O'Connor.
Youch.
He's definitely not acting like a genius.
Nice one, Athena. Keep it up.
Objection!
All right, golden boy. Is this not your chance? Telling the truth will be like a weight lifted from your chest.
The truth? What truth?
The fact that the golden boy here was where he initially stated. That is to say, he was between the maintenance area and the stage.
Objection!
But then the screen would have blocked his view of...
Objection!
On the ground, yes. His view would have been blocked indeed. But consider how smoke always wants to rise up high.
Athena, look at the photo again. Do you think...
Something on the other side of the screen. Something high enough to see the stage. No way. This crane right here? But I don't remember seeing the crane there on the day of the mock trial.
Me neither, but it's probably safe to assume it was moved before you found the body. That's far enough, Prosecutor Blackwell. Remember, you promised.
I recall making no such promise. It was you who came blubbering to me about keeping quiet in exchange for information.
What's all this about a promise? Is this about whatever Blackwell is using against him?
What's it got to do with what's going into the crane? No, I think Blackwell is saying that he was driving the crane, because we can see him driving the crane in this picture. It says forklift certified. It says forklift certification. Are we gonna... I just realized, are we gonna go with the plot beat of Hugh, like, isn't actually a genius? He just got held back a whole bunch.
And what's it got to do, what's it got to do with going into the crane? Golden Boy did not go up in that crane for fun. He was working part-time as a crane operator within school grounds. What? You mean to tell me a high school student was operating a crane?
The witness, I object to the prosecutor's last statement. There's no proof I ever operated that crane.
Hold it!
Actually, there just might be something that proves that you did.
What?
If this whole part-time job thing is true, I doubt it would be limited to a single day. You were probably working at the same site the previous day, too.
Is this what you're thinking of, Athena?
Yep, as the court can see, this photo captured the crane's operator. And if you look carefully, it bears a definite resemblance to Mr. O'Connor.
Are you serious? This is ridiculous.
Oh, very interesting. Let's ascertain whether this is whether this is ridiculous as the witness maintains.
The defense agrees with the prosecution. Let's bring the facts to light.
It's all very well and good, but just how do you propose to do that?
The person in this photo has one really distinguishing feature. I'm not 100% sure, but it's at least worth a try. We can clearly identify this person, or the person in this photo, as the witness by examining
His neck.
the figure in this photo is wearing a very unique object around his neck.
Why, yes, you can see it right there. Then, are you saying you mean to?
Mr. O'Connor's neck is almost certainly concealed by his tall collar. But that's exactly why I believe this warrants further examination.
No, not a chance. That would be a blatant violation of my privacy.
Huh. You're a disgrace of a man. Now start unbuttoning that collar before I hack it off.
Yeah, what's the big deal? Now let's see your neck.
Guess I have no choice.
Huh. Oh my!
So where did you buy that neckband, if I might ask?
I didn't buy it. It's handmade, and there's only one like it in the world.
Why is the first thing you hear Black Quill asking a man to unbutton his shirt? I don't know. Hey Sachi, how are you doing? And thanks for the resub.
Well, it sure looks like the neckband in this photo. Should we have the photo analyzed?
You're one irritating lady. Fine, I admit it. I work a part-time construction job. It has nothing to do with our school. Operating heavy equipment is no big deal for a guy who can parallel park one-handed. But I never expected one of my jobs would take me to my own school.
But when you factor in all the required tests and apprenticeship period, then you have to be at least 20 to have a license for operating a crane.
Oh, about that. You see, I'm a genius, so, you know.
Objection!
Let us dispense with this inane charade, Golden Boy.
No, Prosecutor Blackwell, please don't.
Shit, Dick O'Connor. High school seniors are 19 at most. Thus, they fail to complete the requirements. But that does not apply to you. Does it, Mr. O'Connor? He's been held back, hasn't he?
Why doesn't it apply? He's a senior, so he's around that age, right?
No, don't, please. Actually, Golden Boy here is 25. He took a 7-year break from school.
Wait, come again?
Take a gander at the official school enrollment documentation. It is all right here.
Youch. 25? You mean he's older than me? A 25-year-old high school student? Wait, he is older than Apollo, isn't he?
A 7-year break. 7 years. I've just one thing to say.
He's 2 years older than Apollo, holy shit. He's 9 years younger than Phoenix. He's only a few years younger than Blackwell. Gavin is 25, really?
There are two kinds of 7-year breaks. The ordinary kind you mouth breathers take. And the genius kind people like me take.
Objection!
Yeah, it just updated.
But a genius would quickly become a chore for a 7-year break.
I think you have that backwards, Athena.
Even geniuses make mistakes.
Shit, who is the character that did that in a previous Ace Attorney game? Max Galactica. Max Galactica from the second Ace Attorney game actually does that. He speaks with like... He's a very fancy talker when he's on stage. And he literally has a very strong, like, southern accent when he's not. Or I guess when he's not in character, I should say.
Even geniuses make mistakes. I just happened to make mine only 7 years in a row.
Only Hugh could get away with using only like that.
Enough of this jibber-jabber. Suffice to say, the witness was up in the crane when he saw the accused dragging the mat. The accused readied all she needed to move the body immediately prior to doing so. That much is clear. I see no need to deliberate the matter further. Considering the body was moved in the same manner as the script, I find Prosecutor Blackwell's claim to be quite persuasive. Does the defense care to dissuade me?
As long as the mat was used to move the body, Junie's going to be under suspicion.
Athena, I just thought of something. What was Hugh doing in the crane right before the mock trial? He couldn't have been on the job at the time. I mean, he was waiting for the trial to start.
Yeah, why was he in the crane? Wait, you don't think... Your Honor.
Yes, Miss Sykes?
I've got it. I've got an amazing idea that will turn the prosecution's claim on its head. A little conjecture's never stopped us before.
Interesting.
Mr. O'Connor, you were using the crane too. The body was just like it was in the script, so it must have been moved like in the script too. At least, that's what the prosecution believes. How simplistic. Even foolish.
Grab his dick and twist it. Those are pretty strong words, Athena. Are you sure about this?
The witness is a licensed crane operator, so he could have used it to move the body.
Objection!
Huh. Well, Golden Boy, Care to chime in? I intend to say no more on the matter, save that this does not bode well for you.
Wait, he's on my side this time? Or is this another trap?
Watch this. I can use a bow and arrow one-handed.
Wow, that's a crazy level of dexterity.
I can even drive a crane with one hand. That's easy. But operating the crane itself is so complex, it requires both hands. Now, I would have the court look at this.
Oh, please tell me that's a catch-up stain.
You wish. My hand was injured and required surgery. That's the reason I kept my hand in my pocket all this time.
I've already verified this with the hospital of treatment. Quite a nasty wound, they say.
So, how did you hurt it?
I see no need to discuss that.
It has no relevance to this case. 2 hands are required to operate complex machinery such as the crane. Ergo, on the day of the mock trial, the witness was incapable of moving the body by crane.
No, I'm the fool.
I'd planned on moving the crane the night before the mock trial, but then I got injured. Wanting to keep my part-time job a secret, I had to do it just before the mock trial instead.
Ugh. And here I thought this was the big break we've been waiting for.
Now that the defense sophistry is laid bare, I would have the court recall my claim. Body was dropped out of a 3rd floor window to a mat near the maintenance area, and a ball cart was used to move it to the stage. See? I've been paying attention. Well done, your baldness. Now consider this. The accused was sighted dragging that mat. Ergo, it was she who moved the body.
Well, I think you were on the right track, Athena.
You do?
Yeah, Juniper remains the prime suspect if we assume the body was moved per her script. So as the defense, you have to figure out how else the body could have been moved.
But... Oh, is he telling me to think of another way besides the crane?
Miss Sykes, if you have a counter-argument, this court would love to hear it. And if... If you do not, it's time for the verdict. Isn't that correct, your baldness?
Objection!
No, not yet. All I have to do is show that the body wasn't moved like it was in the script, right?
Well, that would show that the mat had nothing to do with this case. There's a sword of great renown that cuts down sophistic lawyers. Its name is evidence.
You don't scare me. Force a smile, Athena. You can do it.
What's wrong with your face, Athena? It's a weird mix of terror and a creepy grin. Just focus on how the body could have been moved without it being dropped.
How could anyone lower it without just dropping it? It's not like it could fly. Or maybe it could. After all, there is a way to zip between the art room and the stage. Someone could have easily used that thing.
Oh yes, of course. Sykes, the court would like to see what you have for us.
All I have to do is show the tiniest shred of a possibility. The mat and the ball cart weren't used to move the body. This is what was used.
Take that!
The key here is the thing that ties the art room and the stage together.
Might I propose an idea? It might do you well to tie your lips together, lest you further expose your ignorance.
This isn't exactly the time for black comedy. Professor Blackquill? Or Prosecutor Blackquill? When did you become a professor? Anyway, the court will recall the wire on which the school banner was hung. That wire was strung between the art room and the stage, which allowed students to run or reel the school banner from the art room.
Sorry about that.
The body could have easily been lowered down to the stage via this wire.
Holy shit, that actually helped a lot. Wow. That's amazing. That helped significantly. It's still not perfect, but it helped a lot. Spare me your armchair theories. This wasn't some kind of high wire act. Body surely would have fallen, yet there are no signs of blunt force trauma. Spent a little bit of time coughing. I gargled some water. Also, give me a sec. See, the issue that I keep running into with my voice isn't my actual, like, lower throat. Like, my lower throat is fine. It's, this might sound gross, just a warning. It's, the part of your throat that's, like, up in the back of your mouth. Like, at the very, very top of your mouth. That's the part that's causing me issues. Well, it's not the roof of my mouth. It's like the spot where your nose and your throat connect to each other, you know? The body surely would have fallen, yet there are no signs of blunt force trauma.
Objection!
Oh, you surprised me, Prosecutor Blackwell. You didn't actually think I failed to account for that.
I'm sure that's exactly what he thought.
When we investigated the stage yesterday, the bottom part of the school banner had been tied to into a pouch-like shape.
Yeah, I might actually, it might be a good idea for me to, do a quick BRB and, make myself some tea. Because, like, hot drinks will help with that.
And pouches are useful for carrying things. What do you think this one could have carried?
Well, go on. Please explain. Put some honey in it as well. I don't think honey would work very well in peppermint tea. Peppermint is my go-to.
The body was bundled into this into the pouch-like section of the banner and sent down the wire. The body would have been down on that stage in a flash. There'd be no need for a mat.
I've heard the phrase carrying the banner, but the banner doing the carrying.
Objection!
I've no patience for you and your cheap parlor tricks. Your claim is as shaky as a corpse performing that absurd high wire act.
If you have an actual objection, then just come out and say it.
I trust you recall the bloodstains left on the art room pottery. If the wire had been used to move the body, it would have to be via the window above the quad, the one with the winch. However, the bloodstained pottery was next to a window above the maintenance area. Ergo, the wire and banner had not at all to do with this case.
Oh, the bloodstained pottery. I remember that.
This doesn't look good. We'll be back to the mat theory if you don't do something. Well, Miss Sykes, I hope you have something better this time than a circus act.
If my wire theory is true, then that blood on the pottery must not have been blood at all. At first we thought it was a red glaze, but it turned out to be blood. But what if we go back to the time when it was just red glaze by all accounts?
Objection!
But the police have clearly identified it as blood. We never got that information. How was I supposed to know that, game? Can't change fact to fiction, Miss Sykes, let alone travel back in time.
Whoops.
Now then, Miss Sykes, please share your thoughts on what this blood really is.
If my wire theory is true, then that blood on the pottery must not have been the victim's blood. Maybe it's not the victim's blood. Did the police check to see from whom the blood on the pottery came from?
Shame on you, Sykes-Stoner. Have a little more respect for the constabulary. Constabulary is a good word. Fulbright. Looks like they didn't check it.
Ah, don't let it get you down, Prosecutor Blackwell. Everyone makes mistakes.
Spare me your cheek. We'll know not either way until the tests are in.
True, but in the meantime, I'm going to press my claim as far as I can.
Your baldness. I demand that the blood on the pottery be analyzed this instant. Of course, it shouldn't take long to get the results back. Oh my, that was quick. Or history if it turns out to be the victim's blood.
Please, please let it be somebody else's.
It's gonna be Robin's, isn't it? It's gonna be some shit like Robin accidentally cut herself while... Like, cause she throws pottery around a lot. So it very well could just be Robin accidentally cut herself, and that's what that blood is. Ugh. Seems the blood was not from the victim. What? Furthermore, comparison with other parties involved in this case reveals that the blood belongs to one Hugh O'Connor. Oh.
Score!
Fuck, don't make me do Junie's voice.
Don't worry, Junie. Just try to relax. Hugh's hands. His hands were dripping with blood.
Yeah, that actually came out better than I was expecting it to, I'm not gonna lie.
Your Honor, as we saw earlier, the witness's left hand had suffered serious injury. He sustained the wound in a struggle with the victim, and his blood got on the pottery. Then Junie saw his blood-stained hands as they passed each other in the first-floor hall. It's the only explanation that covers everything.
Objection!
There is but one way to now turn aside her blade. But do not cast the blame on me. Your grudge is with Sykestono, for it is she who forces me to expose your secret. Fine, whatever.
Wow, how much dirt does he have on Hugh?
The court will observe this odd-looking envelope. It was inside this that Miriam Scuttlebutt's script was found. It was trapped with a fucking razor blade trap? Holy shit.
Miss Scuttlebutts, but didn't the prosecution already claim that this envelope is the one that contained her script?
Circumstances have changed. You see, Golden Boy had hidden this from us all. Let's see here. My word. Talk about the most painful paper cut. Indeed. You can clearly see that if this envelope is not opened correctly, a powerful spring-loaded blade will shoot forth, leaving a horrible gash upon the hand. The only one who had been told of the correct way to open it was Constance Court.
You really want to see my script that bad? Well, you better watch out. Read it without my permission and you'll wish you hadn't. Yikes. Miriam wasn't kidding when she said that.
The blood on the blade is the witnesses. Our genius here tried to sneak a peek at the wrong script and paid for his foolishness.
Ouch. This guy's the worst genius I've ever seen.
Don't worry, Athena. The wound isn't that deep. Still got the wire theory.
Yeah, I've got it. Since the blood by the window overlooking the maintenance area isn't the victim's, there's no longer any basis for denying the body was moved using the wire and banner. Therefore, the defense once again asserts just that.
You call yourself a lawyer. Don't you see the glaring contradiction in your thinking?
Huh?
One would like to remind the witness that his role is not to point out.
And you, how can you adhere to such outdated beliefs? But whatever. It seems you've forgotten the two statues that were on stage directly below the wire. A body sent sliding down that wire would have crashed into them. Care to explain that away?
What needs explaining? What needs explaining, buddy? The statues are broken. I believe he's right. Statues and the wire are extremely close together.
So the body would have collided with the statues. What if they did collide? Wait, that's it. Speaking of those statues, we still don't know how they were broken. But if we assume the body crashed into them... that would also explain the loud sound we heard while we were in the waiting room.
Oh, now that you mention it, you and Mr. Wright went out to the stage after you heard that sound, correct?
Objection!
Interesting. How very interesting. But may I ask just one question? When was it you heard said sound?
It was a little after the mock trial had started. Mr. Wright and I were practically bored to tears there in the waiting room when...
Precisely. If that sound you heard did happen while the body was being moved, that would place it during the mock trial.
Oof. Which means the body wouldn't have been there before the mock trial started.
You see, right before the mock trial started, I saw the body.
He said he saw the body before the mock trial. If so, then my claim the body was moved during the mock trial doesn't hold water. Stupid contradiction. It's going to get me and our case killed.
Focus was on just 3 suspects because the body was moved before the mock trial. That has been the major premise thus far. Your assertion, therefore, contradicts the very foundation of this case.
Objection!
Both sides still lack incontrovertible evidence. So should we not also treat Golden Boy's testimony with some level of suspicion? Good point.
Prosecutor Blackwell is on our side.
I bet he's figured out the truth behind this case.
I bet he's figured out the truth behind this case. That was an Athena line.
Oh, great, as long as he's not up to something else.
If the statues really were broken when the body hit them, then Hugh's statement about seeing the body before the mock trial is a big fat lie. Okay, Mr. O'Connor. Let's get to the bottom of this contradiction about when you saw the body. Look me straight in the eyes and repeat your statement to me.
Like I said before, before the mock trial, the body was, you know.
I shall only say this once, Golden Boy. You had best tell the truth, and do it now. That is, if your head wishes to enjoy the continued companionship of your body.
Yikes.
Now, out with it. Did you truly witness the body?
Or were you just lying about it? Well, which was it?
You what?
I
never saw the body.
Are you sure about that? Lie to this court again and I'll charge you with perjury. You get one for free. That's the Ace Attorney way. Don't you know? Say it in red.
There was no body on that stage. I've been lying about that this whole time. I'm sorry.
Yes. We've exposed Hugh's big lie for what it is. But why would he lie about this to begin with?
Order. The base premise that the body was moved before the mock trial has been overturned. I imagine this has an impact on both the defense and the prosecution's case.
Well, first I'd like to thank the prosecutor. This brings us one step closer to the truth. Now at least we know the body was moved using the wire in the school banner.
Indeed. That much I shall concede, Sykes Dono. The body was moved as you started, and in the midst of the as you stated, and in the midst of the mock trial. So both sides are satisfied then? Huh. The body was moved before the mock trial. We have our 3 suspects. What if the move took place in the midst of the mock trial? It is an entirely different story.
Right. All 3 suspects were in the mock trial. That gives them solid alibis.
Objection!
How simplistic. Did you forget about the student in charge of the audio? Amidst the mock trial, she was the one soul who could leave and re-enter the lecture hall. What's this? Who is this person in charge of the audio? Cool.
Oh no, how could I forget? It was... Hey, what's the deal here? Why is Junie so large in the shot? Juniper was also in charge of the audio. When she wasn't in the trial, she was in the audio control room dealing with the music.
Indeed. The one who would enter the art room amidst the mock trial to move the body was none other than the accused, Juniper Woods. She was in charge of the audio.
No!
Why, yes, I see. That does make perfect sense.
This can't be happening. Instead of exposing Hugh's crime, Junie's in even deeper. No matter how you slice it, we're cooked. And here I thought Prosecutor Blackwell was on our side. At least on this issue.
Twisted Samurai strikes again.
Twisted. More like dirty rotten.
Your baldness. It's time to put an end to this farce. The prosecution has presented quite the convincing case. But the defense has one last chance to voice any remaining objections. Well, Miss Sykes?
Apollo, what are we going to do? I have nothing left. Nothing. Nada. Niente.
I've been trying to think of something, but I'm drawing a big blank too.
Ugh. Poor Junie. Unless we figure out something, she'll be... Objection. Objection. Well... I object too.
Stop right there. All ears to me. It's time you heard about the rare genius of Hugh O'Connor. Listen and you'll hear the secret behind my perfect crime. Perfect
Crime?
Are we doing this again?
Wait, this is some serious deja vu. Didn't we just go through something like this yesterday?
Yes, we did. So it better not be another one of his enraging traps. The murder, moving the body, the cover-up, it all sprung from my brilliant mind. Well, go ahead, arrest me. The real killer is right before you. Order, I say. Mr. O'Connor. Already confessed yesterday. And earlier today recanted your confession. As if you mouth breathers could comprehend my genius, the end justifies the means. Now bow down and kneel. Kneel before my great and maddening intellect.
Objection!
Enough. The only thing maddening is the ignominy? Ignominy? I think that's how that's pronounced, ignominy. You bear for all to see. Or it is impossible for you to have been the perpetrator behind this crime. There is no perfect crime. Only a perfect alibi, where you were at the mock trial. And it is silly that I must remind you of this, but you were a participant the entire time. There shall be no mercy if you persist in hindering this trial with your silly little act.
Hugh doesn't seem the least bit shaken by Blackwell's threat.
Listen, Mr. Prosecutor. Calling that a perfect alibi is beyond contempt. Your Honor, I'd like to take this opportunity to offer further testimony. I will now demonstrate the very moment of genius that transcended even perfection. You won't believe this, but I used a body double. That wasn't the real me at the mock trial. That means I didn't almost lose. My body double almost did. I slipped out stealthily while my double took care of the trial. I had the run of the campus. In short, I'm the killer. Juniper's innocent. I have a question I was hoping the defense and prosecution might help answer. Is it just me, or does the witness's testimony make no sense at all?
No, it's not just you, Your Honor. All I got from listening to that was a headache.
Yeah, that was just plain weird. Especially the whole thing about the body double. Well, I'm relieved it's not just me. And the prosecution? Your baldness. Summon an ambulance this instant. The witness is stark raving mad. Yes, I think that would be for the best. Now then, let's pretend that never happened and move on to my verdict. You people don't believe me.
It's not a matter of not believing you. It's more along the lines of questioning your sanity.
Yeah, Funny Farm just called. They want their genius back. Shut your pie holes. The intellect of a genius transcends even logic. Besides, don't you guys have that weird device for testimony like this?
Objection!
Widget's not a weird device, and I don't waste him on ridiculous testimonies.
Easy there, Tiger. Think of it this way. We don't want a verdict to be passed just yet. So how about we give Widget a try?
Well, this is against my better judgment, but I'd like to conduct a short therapy session.
Your better judgment? I'm a judge and it's far beyond mine. Yet I find it hard to say no. Prosecutor Blackwell, I trust you have no objections. Prosecutor Blackwell? He left. Prosecutor said, rubbish. We'll be out on a stroll, then left with the Detective Fulbright. Of course he's going on a walk with Detective Fulbright.
How does he get away with stuff like that?
I'll interpret that as meaning he has no explicit objections. All right, Miss Sykes, you may proceed with your therapy session.
I have seen my share of crazy trials, but this one takes the cake.
Overwhelmingly happy. Interesting. Wasn't me at the real mock trial. I already read this.
Mr. O'Connor, yesterday you said that you didn't really care about Miss Woods anymore.
I already told Juniper, so I might as well tell you. I don't really care about her anymore.
What? Why?
Yeah, well, Juniper reported my secret to Professor Court.
His secret? Oh, the bribe.
She wanted nothing to do with me because I had disappointed her. That's why I don't care about her anymore. I was never trying to protect her. My confession was always about one thing, and one thing only. The truth.
Objection!
Mr. O'Connor, you feel great happiness in the fact that you might help set Miss Woods free. So much so that it overshadowed all of your other emotions.
What are you?
I can hear it clearly now, Mr. O'Connor. The discord you've been trying to suppress. You forgot to turn off push notifications. People don't usually feel like you do when you confessed.
So Hugh really was trying to protect Juniper.
Yes, I'm sure of it. Hugh's feelings for her are the real deal. But that means his confession is...
Finally figured out the obvious, have we?
Why, Prosecutor Blackwell, you're back.
The confession was naught but lies, save for the part about being in the mock trial. Can we all agree now that the killer is the one in charge of the audio, i.e. the accused?
Why couldn't you have taken a longer stroll?
No, you haven't unraveled the genius of my body double trick yet.
You can't be serious. Do you really expect us to believe you had a body double?
Yes, yes I do. But if you think I didn't, then prove it. Heh.
Either we quit here and Juniper is found guilty, or we play along with Hugh's delusion.
Let's go with the least worst choice. But first, let me update his testimony.
It's gotta be the surprise. Like, he himself is surprised at the fact that he has a body double there. Really?
Mr. O'Connor, this emotion is inconsistent with your testimony.
You don't know what you're talking about. I take joy in my intellect, feel anger toward your superficiality. suffer sadness at the world's ephemerality, and wonder the universe's mysteries.
Ugh, I should have brought my dictionary to court. Wait, let me try that one again.
I also suffer sadness at the futility of your efforts, but if you must.
See, the fact that he doesn't have any emotions here is... Really? I guess it's because it's still like, oh, you know, teacher's dead, but... Could be anger, or it could be surprise here. See, these are the bits of the mood matrix where I'm a bit iffy on it. Like, I like the idea of it, and it's a cool mechanic, but at the same time, sometimes it's really obtuse as to what you're supposed to be trying to pick out. Maybe because he's happy that it wasn't him at the mock trial? No. See, why is it not the surprise here? Is it happy here? Yeah, because he's not happy that he didn't lose.
I didn't almost lose, you say? Very odd. You exhibited happiness the entire time except during this statement.
You don't know when to give up. Wait, now that I think about it.
No, don't. Stop making stuff up.
When I left the lecture hall, it was during Professor Mean's pre-trial speech. That's when I moved the body. Then I slipped back in just before the verdict.
So you're saying you were there at the moment your double was about to lose?
Yes, I was. Naturally, I wasn't happy when I saw that. In any case, I was at the far end of the lecture hall behind the screen. I figured no one would see me if I came and went through the doors there.
Objection!
Sykes, Dono. How much longer will you indulge him in this charade? While it's true that none in the audience might see him go through either of those doors, the faculty's seats on the balconies are a different story. They have a splendid view. I thought you could do better than that. The lawyer's bench is on the right side when facing the front of the hall. I use the door on the right side near the lawyer's bench. That means my movements were only visible to someone on the left balcony seat. But that seat was empty at the time, which was only natural. After all, it belonged to Professor Court, and as we all know, she was already dead by then.
That can't be right. An empty balcony seat on the left side contradicts this piece of evidence.
Take that!
I have no idea where this contradiction is going, but I don't have any other moves at this point. Guess I'll just have to follow it and see where it takes me. You said the left balcony seat was empty, but was it really?
I saw it with my own eyes. It was definitely empty.
But what about this diagram? According to this, Professor Means was supposed to be seated in the left balcony seat. But if you left the lecture hall during his pre-trial speech, he would have been standing there at his seat addressing the students and faculty.
No, this can't be right. You do no one any favors by exposing the falsities of his confession. I've told plenty of lies so far, but this part is true, I tell you. There was nobody in the left balcony seat. You gotta believe me.
It doesn't seem like he's lying this time. Okay, Mr. O'Connor, let's have you testify again. But this time, don't spare any details.
You got it. I'll repeat it as many times as you'd like. I mean, my ingenious escape act warrants repeating, considering that I'm the real killer. Thank you, Sochi.
All I really care about is whether that seat was empty or not.
The second floor was deserted. Why won't you believe me? It's true, I tell you. I went out through the back door without anyone noticing. Then all I had to do was go through the empty audio control room. Why does that make you sad? It leads into the hallway, so I was perfectly capable of moving the body.
Got it!
I detected powerful sadness and fear right after you said this part. It's as if you'd said something you shouldn't have.
What's wrong with you? You shouldn't reveal a person's inner feelings for all to see.
Mr. O'Connor, it's you who's revealing your inner emotions by the way that you speak. Plus, I have a good idea about why you're feeling sad.
Don't worry, Banana. Instead of Athena smashing her head against the bench, Apollo does it. And he like full send smashes his forehead into the bench. I think it's a Spirit of Justice animation. But he has an animation in one of these two games where he full like send smashes his forehead into the bench.
Ugh, you're a horrible person. Can't you just let me be?
You said that you went through the empty audio control room, but that's not true, is it? There was somebody who returned from there once Professor Means finished his speech. And that someone who was in the audio control room was...
Juniper Woods.
Take that!
I know you realized there was a problem with your statement as you were saying it. That's why you felt so uneasy. If the audio control room really was empty, that would mean Miss Woods was roaming around the campus.
Ugh.
Mr. O'Connor, if you really want to protect Miss Woods, just tell the truth. If you believe in her, revealing the truth is the same as protecting her.
Juniper's innocent. That's the truth. But in this dark age of the law, the truth can be easily twisted to serve anyone's needs. When the end justifies the means, your only choice is to fight back with lies.
Hugh's heart won't hold out under this battle between truth and lies. Is there something I can do to make him recant his false testimony?
I fear nothing now that I've lost everything. Go ahead, Prosecutor Blackwell. Cut me down if you wish.
I thought you'd never ask. With you gone, we may swiftly proceed to a verdict. Yeah! Ah! He broke out of his shackles again! I don't want to be the poor accountant down at the detention center. To O'Connor, defense of to your valor, I will limit your suffering with one clean blow.
Hold it!
Could you wait just one moment before you cut him down?
Silence.
Do not come between a samurai and his foe, Sykes Dono.
I never learned about this in law school.
Careful, prosecutor. Remember that shocking experience you had last time. Huh. Very well. Golden Boy may live. For now.
Enough already, Mr. O'Connor. Miss Woods would never want you to protect her this way. She values the friendship between the three of you more than anything.
That's where you're wrong. She doesn't feel anything for me now. But what does it matter anymore? I might as well tell you everything. This is no doubt news to you, but I'm not and never was a genius.
Sorry, but I already knew.
Me too. And don't forget me. Oh, in all fairness, it was pretty obvious.
I thought he was a genius at first, but
Stuff he said was crazy.
No need to rub it in. Just shut up and listen. It all started several days ago. I accidentally learned that my parents have been paying good money for my grades.
But that's bribery.
the bribery wasn't Hugh's idea.
All of my perfect scores were the product of cold hard cash, not genius. Even worse, when I confronted my parents about it over the phone. Juniper overheard me.
Oh my. What a terrible misunderstanding.
I've been living a lie. I don't know what else there is to say. I'm no genius. I'm completely worthless. A perfect zero.
Hugh.
Even so, I still wanted to make it up to Juniper for disappointing her like that. That's why I wanted to clear her name by pinning the blame on me. I mean, she probably hates me now, so it'd be a relief for her to see me locked away.
If you were trying to help her, then why did you testify against her?
You were the ones who told me to tell the truth yesterday. So I thought if I did, it would help her.
He wasn't trying to provoke us.
It's like we seriously misunderstood him. More ways than one.
At the detention center yesterday, Junie was in tears when she opened up to me. But the truth is, the friendship between the three of them is still rock solid. If there were something that could help me prove that to Hugh.
We even have proof of our friendship.
Yeah, as long as our friendship lasts, you can bet we'll be carrying them around.
I know, I know, what about that proof of friendship they mentioned? I wonder where or what it is.
I didn't buy it. It's handmade, and there's only one like it in the world.
Maybe it's... No, that's definitely it. That band around his neck. Mr. O'Connor, that band around your neck, that's your proof of friendship, isn't it?
Friendship? Not anything like a proof of purchase barcode.
In court, evidence is everything. That's why the three friends created friendship bands. It's the evidence that proves their friendship.
Oh, very interesting and chic.
If they have doubts about their friendship, they can look to the proof they have on hand. That's why Mr. O'Connor's hand always goes to his neck when he's pressured. It proves that he still has feelings of friendship toward the other two.
It doesn't matter if I wear it if those two...
Objection!
But they feel the same way too. I know they wear their friendship bands somewhere. Junie and Robin must both feel the same as Hugh. I just know it. Everything Hugh has said leads me to believe that. In fact, he may have also just told me that the others were proof of their friendship.
Are they easy to touch?
All we have to do is think back to their testimonies. Ready? Miss Newman holds her arm when pressured. And Miss Woods holds her wrist. I know Miss Woods very well. She would never abandon her friendship with you over something like this. And taking the blame for her will only succeed in making her terribly sad.
Ugh. Ugh. Ugh.
Robin, those bands of friendship that you made, just for the three of us. You may have forgotten about them, but not me.
Hugh!
Ah,
Hey, Hugh!
Why would you wear this around your neck?
I should have known better than to doubt my best friends.
It is very cute.
I didn't kill anyone. And I didn't have a body double. I didn't move the body. I didn't even see it. And it may look like I'm speed reading. Zen in the art of mastering the bar exam, but I haven't read a single word.
Well, you could have fooled me. In fact, you did.
Hugh,
So, Miss Sykes, can I place my trust in you?
I'm going to save Junie. So yes, you can place your trust in me.
Then am I to understand the witness is recanting his confession?
Yes.
Wow. A most roundabout trial. I much prefer the turnabout variety myself.
Thank you.
Thank you, Blackwell. Thank you for making a fucking pun. Now we're back to the fact that there was but one suspect who lacked an alibi. Which is, in the end, the truth you've been seeking this entire time. So we're back to square one. Now I'm exhausted and depressed.
It probably doesn't matter at this point, but I might as well update the mood matrix. Huh? Does this mean...
Further resistance is futile. The time for a verdict is nigh.
Objection!
Please, wait.
What sort of devilry are you up to now?
What if our client wasn't the only one without an alibi? The trial would continue, right?
Well, yes, I suppose it would. After such a thorough investigation, does such a person really exist?
Yes, we found someone. It may have seemed like a major roundabout. But Mr. O'Connor's testimony has cracked this case. There's no more noise. He was telling the truth now. During the mock trial, the balcony seat opposite of him really was empty. Which now means there's one person accounted for. Besides Junie, there's only one other person without an alibi during the mock trial.
Take that!
The balcony seat was empty. That much is true, isn't it, Mr. O'Connor?
That's right. How many more times do I have to say it?
So basically, Professor Means wasn't where he was supposed to be during the mock trial.
Silence.
Need I remind you, every last soul in the lecture hall heard him deliver his speech.
Objection!
I know, and that's not in dispute here. Now, let me explain how a speech could be given from an empty seat. It was pre-recorded. What if the speech was pre-recorded? That's the only way the speech could have been delivered from an empty balcony seat.
Wait, are you accusing Professor Means? That's insane! I mean, he's the one who gave me the tape recorder. Take this to the police. Take this to the police, he said, and tell them you found it.
What? Really? Wait a sec. Mr. O'Connor, did you just say that Professor Means gave that phony recording to you?
Phony? Defense will refrain from hurling unsubstantiated allegations. Well, I said he gave it to me, but what do you mean it's phony?
Wow. Who could have seen this development? I definitely didn't see this development coming from a fucking mile away. The voice shouting "You're a goner," as recorded in this tape, was dubbed onto it using a line our client said during the mock trial. That's how I'm gonna voice that line. That's not what the line says, but it works.
Why? This is an extremely crucial piece of evidence. Her neck is only a little bit too long in this pose, though. Banana.
Professor Means gave Hugh the phony tape. If that's really true, then Professor Means has guilt written all over him.
Oh, it's because of the angle that her neck is at. If you look at when she adjusts her neck, it looks like a good length, and then it goes to looking too long because you're seeing the bottom of her like chin as part of her neck.
Your Honor, the defense moves to call Professor Aristotle Means to the stand.
Silence.
Huh. The seat was never empty. 'Twas but an oversight by our dullard of a witness. An inmate who was formerly a surgeon once told me something. He said it's often all too easy to overlook critical symptoms.
Objection!
Well, we're not going to overlook this oversight. If the speech was pre-recorded, the basis for suspecting our client would be shattered. Let's check with Professor Means and see whether the empty seat was a witness oversight. A verdict without first looking into that would be inconceivable.
That's enough, both of you. Now, here's my opinion on the matter. While a surgeon overlooking critical symptoms is a problem, a witness oversight too must not be overlooked. Thus, as to the matter of whether Professor Means was or was not in his faculty seat, I believe we must ask the professor himself.
I agree. Professor Means should be here in the gallery today.
Do as you please. Please state your name and occupation for the record. Certainly. I am Aristotle Means. I teach the lawyer course at Temis Legal Academy. And let me add that while I welcome any opportunity to assist with the trial, I don't care for this undue suspicion.
Don't worry, Professor. We're just interested in the mock trial video right now. We just need to take another look at that speech you gave. Can we count on your cooperation for this?
Very well. If that's all you're interested in, please proceed, Miss Sykes.
I need to find some sort of evidence that shows this speech was pre-recorded.
All right, I believe we're ready. Let's roll the video. Good afternoon. I'd like to start by thanking you for coming here today. The mock trial, the crown jewel event of the school festival, will begin shortly. When I was a student, I too could hardly wait for this day to come.
Oh no. I'd forgotten how long and boring his speech was.
Huh. Wake me up once this is over.
Hey, no fair.
The experience of our youth have a powerful and profound effect on our adult. Ah, you there. Wake up. Pay attention.
Huh? Ugh. I'm awake. Isn't that right, Your Honor?
What? I'm awake too. Wide awake, see? Once again, our pure white Lady of Justice will be watching over all of you today.
Oh, there it is.
Pay attention and you might make a difference one day. Now let the mock trial begin. That is about it. One of my better speeches, if I do say so myself. I even saw some of our students with tears in their eyes.
He's obviously not familiar with the phrase bored to tears.
Listen, Sykes-Dono. If you have subjected me to this epic study in tedium without purpose, Taka will feast on your tongue after I've cut it out.
But you were asleep the whole time.
Well, Miss Sykes, did you notice anything strange about that speech?
Could I please hear that last part again?
Once again, our pure white Lady Justice will be watching over all of you today.
Hold it!
There, I finally found what we needed. Professor Means, I have only one question about your speech. Why does that last part we just heard contradict with this?
Take that!
The professor said the pure white Lady Justice would be watching over them. But the Lady Justice in the video isn't even close to being white. It's as gold can be.
I'm not sure I can wrap my jaw around that to test its authenticity.
I didn't say it was made of gold, Your Honor. Now, it's true that this statue is pure white. But it broke before the mock trial began. The one you see here is its replacement.
Oh, well, that's a shame on every count.
Ironically, this golden statue sticks out like a sore thumb compared to the white one. Meaning, the professor wouldn't have made a mistake in its color if he'd been present.
It seems that I've caused some confusion, but it was merely an oversight on my part.
Objection!
The statue was in the middle of the room. How could you not know what it looked like?
Well, I was in a balcony seat. Furthermore, the statue had previously been white. I'm afraid this isn't sufficient evidence on the speech being pre-recorded. We had our answer long ago. The accused was the only one to leave the lecture hall.
No, wait. There's gotta be something that can prove that speech was pre-recorded.
According to the mock trial video, speech started here and ended here. It was a little over 10 minutes, but I doubt anyone wants to be tortured again.
It was only a little over 10 minutes. It felt like it went on forever. How'd you figure out how long it was?
Easy. There's a timestamp in the top right. All you have to do is subtract the time the speech started from the time it ended.
The speech goes from the 10-minute mark to the 20:35, or to 20:35. Wait a second. I could swear I've seen the same interval of time listed among the evidence. Maybe there's a way for me to use the speech to time to show that it was pre-recorded.
Take that!
He used the same tape recorder. Sorry, give me a sec. I'm going to, I need to run to the restroom real quick. I will be back in a moment. I keep pressing the wrong button by accident. That's the second time this stream that I've done that.
I would like the court to take a look at this.
And this is?
The voice print analysis that proves the voice on the tape recorder belongs to our client.
Yes, but didn't we just establish that the voice on the tape recorder was a fabrication?
We did. But what I'd like to focus on is the noise that's also there.
Noise?
Yes. The defense believes it resulted when the tape's previous recording was erased.
Huh. And what do you hope to prove by that?
The length of the noise is what's important. It's 10 minutes and 35 seconds in all. And what did the timestamp read at the moment Professor Means began his speech?
That would be exactly 10.
Now let's fast forward this long-winded exercise in boredom to the end. Okay, stop. The video timestamp now reads 20:35. Based on this, we know the time it took for the speech alone.
Right, subtract 10 minutes and you get 10:35. 10 minutes and 35 seconds.
Right. 10 minutes and 35 seconds. The same as the noise on the tape recording. I assume you all understand what this means. Professor Means' pre-recorded speech had been where this noise is now.
Silence.
You seem rather confident, considering this is mere happenstance. It is a mere happenstance match of numbers.
Objection!
Sorry, give me a sec. Don't mind me, I'm just accidentally inhaling water.
But is it really just numbers?
The lab is continuing their study of the tape. So far as they've found signs of overdubbing. But it's going to take a bit longer to recover the audio that was erased.
The police are analyzing the noise as we speak. It won't be long until we know what was originally there. Now I'm sure of it. The professor was trying to create an alibi with the recording. By pinning the crime on Junie. Oh, he's not gonna get away with it. Not on my watch.
Miss Sykes. I believe you're well aware of my methodology. Even if Juniper were the perpetrator, I would vigorously defend her as per my word. And to that purpose, I offered to be her lawyer. Alas, look what's happened. Hey, Not, how are you doing?
All that I've stated are obvious deductions derived from evidence and testimony.
Truth be told, I had no intention of testifying. I'd been keeping quiet for Juniper's sake. But now that you cast this blame upon me, I have no choice but to reveal the truth. Also, I just realized I just slipped into Blackwell voice for this. Doing good, a bit tired. But now you cast this blame upon me. I have no choice but to reveal the truth.
Uh-oh, that doesn't sound good.
I will now reveal the truth behind why I had to pre-record my speech before the mock trial. I, Professor Means, always say what I mean, and mean what I say by all means. The defendant came to me with what she needed. It was very important, and by necessity secret. He asked me to pre-record my speech. Come to the audio room during the mock trial. Juniper confessed to the murder and asked that I get her declared innocent in court. He also said I had become an accomplice after losing my alibi due to the pre-recording. But when I said I would protect Juniper, I meant it because it's the humane thing to do. Shut up. Oh my. You're saying the defendant threatened you. This has to be a lie. I mean, everything about it lines up too perfectly to be true. On this most consequential of equations. On this most consequential of occasions. Let me be completely frank with you. Juniper has taken to heart my teaching that states the end justifies the means.
I don't believe you.
When she asked me to defend her, she said I must also prove her two friends innocent. Her two friends? The witnesses? Correct. Hugh O'Connor and Robin Newman. I was to ensure all three walked free. All three to achieve their dream. That was the result Juniper was seeking. And she was even willing to threaten me to her own professor to that end. Huh. You no doubt had high praise for her ruthless tactics. Yes, well, that's why I vowed to vigorously defend her despite her threatening me. There was a time when lawyers merely sought the truth if they wished victory in court. But alas, those days are over. Now in the defense of justice, order and all that is good, the end justifies the means.
I am so sick of hearing that phrase.
Though it truly grieves me so, I must tell you this. Forsake the truth if it's victory you seek. Steel yourself for this new courtroom reality.
That does it. He's gonna regret dragging those dismal, depressing ideas in here. Since he's already surrendered to the Dark Age of the Law, it's up to me to fight it.
Why so silent, Sykestono? Something the matter?
This is a court of law. It's no place for long-winded talks about idealistic principles. That's why I'm going to let the evidence do the talking.
Let's not get carried away now, Miss Sykes. I will not do. It will not do to have you attempting to discredit my doctrine. Do not force me to rectify this situation.
No, go ahead and rectify it. Only if I lose and you win, that is.
The defendant came to me with what she said was very important and by necessity secret.
Hold it!
I doubt our client would come to you with something like that.
You have a point there. If only Professor Court had been alive, I suspect Juniper would have gone to her instead.
So, our client came to talk to you after Professor Court was dead.
Let's go through this step by step, shall we? First, Juniper came to meet me that day. He asked me to pre-record my speech and come to the audio room during the mock trial.
Hold it!
Are you suggesting it was our client who told you to fake an alibi?
You have every reason to be surprised. I, too, was shocked when she told me that. Simply put, Juniper has a secret that you wish to protect that badly.
Is he kidding me? That lie couldn't be further from the truth. The problem is, how am I going to expose it?
It was an earnest request from an outstanding student. How could I possibly have refused? Juniper confessed to the murder and asked that I get her declared innocent in court.
Hold it!
Did you consider that a threat?
Yes, but it's now to whom you to whom she has passed her demands onto. Miss Sykes, you must realize that you too are being used by Juniper.
What?
Your Honor, I ask that you too do not let her feigned weakness and innocence fool you. Juniper Woods is quite clever and extremely tough. And perhaps most important of all, is a fervent follower of my teachings.
Objection!
Your Honor, the witness's testimony is nothing but an attack on our client's character.
Very well, objection sustained. So be it. Nevertheless, the fact that she threatened me is immutable. He also said I'd become an accomplice after losing my alibi due to the pre-recording.
Hold it!
How could you overlook such a threat? As a teacher, it's your duty to discipline students.
Yes, well, perhaps I do have some serious reflection to do on this matter. I suppose it was just wishful thinking on my part. I wanted to believe that Juniper hadn't actually committed murder. And that she hadn't meant to threaten me. Really? Please do explain. Long had I waited for a student who would embody my teachings. Does the witness realize what he's saying? Early, you must see the true meaning in my words. I'm merely stating true what I teach, and my methods are but a reflection of the times.
Oh wow, its way of thinking is really warped. I haven't heard any inconsistencies yet.
I wouldn't be so sure.
Really?
The more he tries to avoid logical inconsistencies in his testimony, the more likely we'll see inconsistencies between his actions and words.
It's a dark age in which we live, and there is much I would like to say on that matter.
Hey Paradoxica, how are you doing?
When I said I would protect Juniper, I meant it because it's the humane thing to do.
Hold it!
What have you missed? Hugh is 25 years old and is works part-time as a construction worker.
Hugh, Robin, and Juniper are still friends. Other than that, not really a whole lot. We've gotten some pieces of evidence shuffled around. We found out that Professor Means, so he is forklift certified. Exactly. Yeah, we found out that Professor Means is, he was absent. He pre-recorded his speech at the start of the, like, at the start of the mock trial, so that he could, like, leave during it. And that's how we managed to get Professor Means on the stand.
You were trying to protect our client? Yeah, right. They'll say anything to pin the blame on Junie.
What a frightful look. I would ask that you not glare at me so. I have nothing but admiration for how Juniper was willing to go as far as to threaten me. That is why I'm protecting her by any means possible. She has been a model student.
Liar! You're trying to pin the blame on her! How am I going to show what he's saying isn't what he's really thinking?
You cannot possibly overturn my claims. So isn't it about time you admitted defeat? After all, if my unassailable logic is not the truth, then what is?
If he thinks I'm going to give in to his pack of lies, he's got another thing coming. I'm gonna find a hole in this story if it's the last thing I do.
Even though he's rotten to the core, he's a total pro. I mean, that all made perfect sense.
Yeah, but you can't believe a word he says. He's making this up as he goes along. He'll trip up on his own words yet. Time to see how consistently the professor's testimony acts up with his actual actions.
Let's see. Yeah, exactly. They push back, and they push back hard. So... She also said I'd become an accomplice after losing my alibi to the pre-recording, but when I said I would protect Juniper, I meant it because it's the humane thing to do. Oh yeah, he cut his hand on a fancy razor envelope. It was the envelope that Miriam Scuttlebutt's script was in, and it was booby trapped with a spring-loaded razor blade trap. I know that that sounds like a shit post, but it's not. Because Miriam didn't want anybody reading her script. See...
Hold it!
Let's see. You suggesting it was our client who told you to fake an alibi? No reason to be surprised. Well, I couldn't be further from the truth. The problem is, how am I going to expose it? It's an earnest request from an outstanding student. How could I possibly have refused? What do you mean, what about court? How is she supposed to read it? She was told how to open it. You had to open it in a specific way to not set off the razor blade trap.
Hold it!
You consider that a threat? Yes, but now but it's now you to whom she's passed her demands on to. Miss Sykes, you must realize that you two are being used by Juniper. Your Honor, I ask that you two do not let her feigned weakness and innocence fool you. Juniper Woods is quite clever and extremely tough. Perhaps most important of all, she's a fervent follower of my teachings. I don't know what I'm supposed to present here or where. Really pleased to explain. Long have I waited for students who embody my teachings. Really must see the true meaning of my words. I'm merely staying true to what I teach. My methods are but a reflection of the times. My way of thinking is really warped, but I haven't heard any inconsistencies yet. She said I'd become an accomplice after losing my alibi due to the pre-recording. Oh, okay. Because he deleted the recording off of the thing.
Objection!
What? Fine then, game. You're gonna make me fucking safety save. You can't present people in this game. There's only like 2 or 3 Ace Attorney games where you can present people. I'm genuinely stumped here. Question, is my save here? This piece of testimony? Knows you run to the court. You can't believe a word he says. He's making it up as he goes along. He'll trip up on his own words yet. Time to see how consistently the professor's testimony matches up with his actual actions. Is it really just a situation of presenting the thing on the wrong...
Objection!
Fuck. This is the second time tonight that it's just been, I presented the thing on the wrong piece of...
So let me get this straight. You were trying to help Miss Woods. Huh. That's nothing more than a bald-faced lie. No offense, Your Honor.
Such defamation of my character and your hair follicles. Your Honor, it's an outrage. Miss Sykes will clarify her statement, but leave my hair follicles out of it this time.
Yes, of course, Your Honor. Now please take a look at this. The witness gave this tape to Mr. O'Connor. Then he slyly whispered, "Take this to the police and tell them you found it."
There was no whispering, slyly or otherwise. Or otherwise involved. I simply did that out of kindness.
Objection!
The tape contained our client's voice. In short, it's incredibly damaging evidence. Why would it even exist if the witness wasn't trying to pin the murder on our client? They say the road to hell is paved with good intentions, but not yours. You never had good intentions, only lies to protect yourself while blaming another. You, Professor, are the embodiment of the dark age of the law.
Why, you little... dare call my teachings and methods lies? Temest Legal Academy is a proud institution. It's the most powerful in the world. He's got a mohawk now. You'll never forget what true education and lawyering means once I'm through with you.
Professor Means, what's with your hair?
Quiet. No talking in class.
Ow!
Eyes and ears up here, everyone. Homeroom is now in session. We'll begin with a roll call. Athena Sykes.
Huh? Oh, here?
Apollo Justice.
I'm fine. Here.
Fool. The proper response is here without any extraneous information.
Ouch. Here.
Next, Your Honor. Here. See, class? That is the proper way to answer. Simon Blackwill. I said, Simon Blackwill. Are you here or not?
There's always one, isn't there?
Well then, I'll just mark you absent. Now get out of my class this instant. Get out. Very well. If that is your wish, who am I to defy my homeroom teacher? Is that such a good idea? Prosecutor Blackwell is free of his shackles. It just so happens I was a member of my high school's disciplinarian committee. What, is that really so shocking?
What is that, really so shocking? What is that, really so shocking? What is that, really so shocking? What is that, really so shocking? What is that, really so shocking? What is that, really so shocking? What is that, really so shocking? What is that, really so shocking? What is that, really so shocking? What is that, really so shocking? What is that, really so shocking? What is that, really so shocking? What is that, really so shocking? What is that, really so shocking? What is that, really so shocking? What is that, really so shocking? What is that, really so shocking? What is that, really so shocking? What is that, really so shocking? What is that, really so shocking? What is that, really so shocking? What is that, really so shocking? What is that, really so shocking? What is that, really so shocking? What is that, really so shocking? What is that, really so shocking? What is that, really so shocking? What is that, really so shocking? What is that, really so shocking? What is that, really so shocking? What is that, really so shocking? What is that, really so shocking? What is that, really so shocking? What is that,
Constabulary lapdog to teacher's pet. What a malleable mutt you are, Fulbright. Very good, Bobby. You just earned a gold star and a promotion to head disciplinarian. All right, class is now in session.
Why do I have the sudden urge to go to the nurse's office with a stomachache? Apollo's just like me, for real, for real.
Pay attention. I am not the killer. Juniper is. This will be on the next test, so you'd better be listening.
Objection!
But Professor, you created the phony tape to pin the blame on Juniper. Plus, you are the only one who could have moved the body during the mock trial.
Athena. You disappoint me so. To think you would label me a murderer. Now pay attention. Murder occurred on the 23rd between 6 and 8 p.m. But I was already at home by that time, so how could I have been involved in this crime?
Objection!
Professor Means, can you really prove that you had already gone home by that time?
And you prove I was still at school.
No, I can't.
Actually, we can. Here he is.
So you admit it. Well, you just earned extra credit for your honesty. But you've also earned yourself lavatory cleaning duties until you graduate.
Ew! I do enough of that at the office.
No, that was Apollo's job.
No way, man. I totally object. Robin? I can't believe I fell for the professor's silver-tongued lies.
Why, you? How dare you talk about your teacher like that?
I'm not listening to you anymore, man. No way, no how. Now I have a confession to make. You know those two statues that were on stage? I didn't make them all by myself. The statues on stage. Do I want to know where this is headed? I was able to finish one of them, but the last bell rang before I had time for the other one. So I asked Professor Means to make it for me. In other words, the professor was there on the stage after the last bell. Right, and it would have been way past 7 p.m. before he could have finished.
Professor Means was still at school. This is incredibly important testimony.
The professor told me. I'll take care of it. I thought my parents would let me be an artist if I said I made both statues myself. I'm so sorry for not telling the truth.
Robin's voice is so all over the place. Professor Means seems like the teacher everyone dreads. Absolutely.
Robin.
Quick, somebody get this juvenile delinquent out of my sight. Simon, you're head honcho among the delinquents. Do something. Ah! Class pet around, who's in charge of the class pet around here? Huh. Not interested. But if you want a class in swordsmanship, I'm your man. Course. Only real blades will do. No swords at school. All weapons will be confiscated. Ah! Nurse! Where's a school nurse when you need one? It would seem Sykes Dono seeks a showdown, Professor. In which case you would do well to draw your staff quick as lightning. Very well. Then I will just have to prove my innocence myself. Real lessons begin in school period. Prepare to be served, old school style. What is that? Oh, never mind. Your testimony, please. Now pay attention. Robin took over half a day to complete one statue. I, however, finished most of the other statue between 7 and 8:30 p.m. The defendant Juniper saw the two statues with her own eyes at 8:30 p.m. Completing a statue so quickly meant that I could not leave the stage for a single second. How could I have possibly had the time to go to the art room and commit a murder? Or saying the defendant saw the finished statues. Precisely. She said so herself at the detention center yesterday. The defense team was there, and I heard her say so too. Don't try to deny it now.
That evening, I went back to my dressing room to get something I'd forgotten there. It was well after the last bell rang. I'd say maybe around 8:30. That's when I noticed that both stage statues were finished. They were quite large, and they were covered with a white sheet, but I could tell.
Full right is teacher's pet? Absolutely.
Oh, right. The professor was there when that matter came up. Before I address the professor's charges, I have a question for Robin. How hard would it be to complete a statue like that one in 1.5 hours? It would probably take me at least twice as long. So personally, I think it would be incredibly difficult to finish in that short a time. Ugh. That didn't exactly help our case. But he won't get off that easy. He's bound to stumble over his own slippery means.
Just gonna make a safety save. Now, pay attention. Robin took over half a day to complete one statue.
Hold it!
Miss Newman took over half a day? Can you please be a little more precise than that?
What a wonderful question. He was having quite a tough time, you see. Prosecutor Gavin's statue alone took her from the morning hours into the evening. Well, it is a rather large statue after all. Don't be silly. It merely exposes the difference between student and teacher. I, however, finished most of the other statue between 7 and 8:30 p.m.
Hold it!
Most of the other statue? What exactly does that mean?
Robin created the basic outline of Mr. Wright's statue before the last bell rang. I, in turn, completed the rest of it.
I see. In academics as well as art, learning the basics is incredibly important. In short, you skipped the most important part of statue making, didn't you?
Why, you insolent little... It is the practical applications built upon the basics that take so much time. Professors such as I mastered the basics a long, long time ago. Unlike Miss Fancy Pants here. Wow, that was not your voice. Unlike Miss Fancy Pants here, who lacks all lawyerly fundamentals.
Oh, quiet you.
Now do you understand? I did not leave that stage until I was done. Well, Miss Sykes, do you accept the witness's claim?
Not on your life, Buster.
Not on your life.
No, I don't. I know there's more to this, and I won't stop until the truth comes out.
The more you struggle, the more you sink. Like so much legal quicksand, so to speak. I use the world's ultimate technique to complete the statue by 8:30 p.m. The defendant Juniper saw the two statues with her own eyes at 8:30 p.m.
Maybe our client only thought she saw the statues.
Silence.
A pity for you, but we've already confirmed it with the accused. He's on record having seen both statues.
Yeah, that's true. I just thought I'd give it a shot.
I have the ultimate in courtroom techniques. It's absolutely airtight. I will bury you. This will be your final resting place, along with all who believed in you.
Is there no way to get to this guy?
Better pay attention. Very close attention. Completing the statue so quickly meant I could not leave the stage for a single second.
Why were you in such a hurry? That was a voice crack and a half. Holy shit.
In the legal world, your body is your capital. The early bird gets the worm. That is why I get to bed at 9 p.m. each and every night. That is why I was working as fast as I could. I did not want to miss my bedtime. Well, ready to concede that I never left the stage? Well, Miss Sykes, do you accept the witness's claim? No.
No, I don't. I know there's more to this, and I won't stop until the truth comes out.
I'd be careful, Athena. If you don't have anything, it's probably best to just grin and bear it for now until you find something to nail him with.
But,
When will you cease this nonsense? I'm quite busy today, as I was at the night of the crime. How could I have possibly had the time to go to the art room and commit murder?
yeah, but you could have taken a short break or something.
Preposterous. I didn't even have 10 minutes to spare. Not even 5 for a visit to the lavatory. Let me ask you, Your Honor. Do you find anything wrong with my claim? So far, it appears that your statue making was quite a difficult chore. And I see nothing that could overturn your claim that you never left the stage.
But the art room is only a few steps away.
What's the plan? All I can think of is pressing him like crazy.
That's all I can think of too. We'll just have to seek out a hole to exploit.
Let's see. Oh, wait, we just have evidence that just disproves this outright. Oh, wait, no. Never mind. Hmm. Between between 7 and 8:30 p.m. Huh. Defendant Juniper saw the two statues with her own eyes at 8:30 p.m. How could I have possibly had the time to go to the art room and commit murder? Not much. So this has already been confirmed true. I, however, finished most of the other statue between 6 and 8:30. Yeah, it very well could be something with the photos. I, however, finished most of the other statue between 7 and 8:30 p.m. The defendant, Juniper, saw the two statues with her own eyes at 8:30 p.m. Completing a statue so quickly meant that I could not leave the stage for a single second. How could I have possibly had the time to go to the art room and commit murder? I mean, yeah, there was a, Most of the statue, what does that mean? Robin created the basic outline for Mr. Wright's statue before the last bell rang. I, in turn, completed the rest of it. I see. In academics as well as art, learning the basics is incredibly important. In short, you skip the most basic part of statue making. Like Miss Fancy Pants here, who lacks all lawyerly fundamentals. I did not leave the stage until I was done. Well, Miss Sykes, do you accept the witness's claim? Yes.
I've tried everything, but I still can't prove anything. I guess I concede.
I couldn't hear you. Say it louder this time.
I concede that Professor Means never left the stage.
That's right. But what took you so long? I was there at the stage the entire time. I couldn't possibly have committed that crime.
I'm not gonna give up here.
I'm afraid I have to side with the witness, Miss Sykes. Unless you have any further objections, I'll have to put this issue to rest.
Objection!
Not yet. The defense still has an objection.
Athena, thought of something?
Well, as I said, not yet.
Oh, so it's time for legal smoke and mirrors.
Not yet, Athena. It's not yet time to quit. It's at times like these, when it seems like there's no way out, that you have to... Yeah, I have to turn the case upside down. Instead of focusing on whether Professor Means could have gone to the art room, I should focus on how he could commit murder without going there.
Oh! Oh! The art room is a fake out crime scene. The actual crime scene was somewhere on the stage. Means killed her and carried her body using the Governor's banner that we found partially burned and let it bleed up in the art room to create a fake crime scene. Okay, that's cool. I like that.
I should focus on how he could commit murder without going there.
Seems our young lady has a real bona fide idea. But I'll use any means necessary, even casting stones, if it'll distract her. Ah, who brought the bird to school? Sykes, Dono. I hear one word of your usual jibber-jabber. I shall shave your head. Murder occurred in the art room, yet the witness was on the stage. How do you propose to fill the vast gap between these two key facts?
If I accept the premise that the professor was on the stage the entire time, the only other answer is that we got something else wrong. Wait, that's it. Every last one of us made a huge mistake. We were totally wrong about the crime scene. If Professor Means was in the stage the entire time, then he must be the killer.
Ridiculous. Defense has become utterly incoherent.
Objection!
No, it's just that the murder wasn't committed where we thought it was.
Continue, Sykes, Dono.
Okay, the murder was actually committed here.
Take that!
The greatest riddle of this case has been how the body was moved from the art room. But if the murder occurred on the stage, that means the body was never moved at all.
Silly girl. When the body was found, there wasn't a drop of blood on the stage floor. Surely there would have been some blood if that's where the murder was committed.
There wasn't any blood on the stage. Really? But there was something on stage at the time of the murder that's now bloodstained.
Take that!
It's true there were no bloodstains on the stage floor. But there was something on that stage that did have a bloodstain. And that would be this school banner. No blood would have gotten on the floor if this were under the victim when she was killed.
Oh my, that's quite a compelling theory.
Silence.
What is it now? My theory makes perfect sense.
That was a pathetic attempt. You must put every inch of your body into your attacks. The autopsy states the cause of death. The cause of death was loss of blood. Yet only a trace amount was found upon that banner. Where did the rest go? Blood getting on there when the body was moved by wire makes more sense than not. Ha 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 ha. Very good, Simon. Tell me, what's your first choice for higher education? I'll write you the ultimate in recommendation letters. We're all but guaranteed to get in.
Objection!
Actually, the defense has something to explain that as well.
You do?
If there was only a trace amount of blood in the school banner, then there must have been something else the killer used to soak up the blood. All that I have to do is figure out what. This is what soaked up most of the victim's blood.
Take that!
Why, it looks like there's some other piece of fabric on top of the school banner.
It's the governor's banner that had been specially made for the school concert. Since it's on top of the school banner, the blood would have hit it first. It could have easily absorbed most of the blood like a dishcloth. And only a small amount would have soaked through the school banner below. So it makes total sense for the school banner to only have a little blood on it.
The banner absorbed the blood like a dishcloth. Yes, that would explain it. Gaviner's banner was like a dishcloth. Surely it was at least towel quality. Simon, don't just stand there. Do something.
Silence.
Sykes, Donna. You are learning to wield the blade quite well. But how will you respond when I come slashing at you like this? Remnant of a large bloodstain was detected in the art room. But why would there be blood in there if the murder occurred on the stage, as you claim?
Objection!
The bloodstain in the art room was faked. How? I'll tell you how.
Sorry, I need a sec.
All that was needed was something that could transport the blood upstairs. And that something was a piece of evidence we just finished discussing. The killer used this to bring the victim's blood up to the art room.
It has to be the Gaviner's logo, right? I'm scared that it's not going to be because it's...
Take that!
Think you'd stoop so low as to present mere garbage to this court?
It's only garbage because someone tried to destroy it by tossing it into the incinerator. That someone was most likely the killer, seeking to get rid of crucial evidence. The killer used the wire to bring the blood-soaked Gaviner's banner to the art room. Then, the blood was wiped onto the floor to complete the ruse. It makes perfect sense.
Gah. Ugh. Order, order. This is quite the development. I think the body was never actually moved. Hold it right there. The body must have been moved. How else do you explain the loud crash you heard during the mock trial? If it wasn't caused by the body crashing into the statues, then what was it?
I hadn't thought of that.
Oh wait, whoops.
If that loud crash wasn't the body hitting the statues, then what was it indeed? The knot in the school banner shows that something was carried along the wire in it. So if that's true, I know what I have to find. Something that was in the art room before the murder and then on the stage after. The object that was sent down the wire to crash into the statues was...
Take that!
That statue?
Yes, I believe it was this statue that broke into that broke the other two, not Professor Court's body. The unique statue you see on the right, that's the pure white Lady Justice from earlier. Professor Court accidentally broke it while she was polishing it the day before the mock trial. But she used her own unique artistic sense and technique to repair it as you see here. Nobody would have guessed that it was actually Lady Justice originally.
Silence.
Perhaps you are onto something. But why, pray tell, would anyone move that scrap heap relic in such a tedious manner? Excellent question, Simon. Keep them coming.
You know why, but the fact that you won't acknowledge it shows how twisted you are. Lady Justice was moved during the mock trial. During that time, Professor Means was fabricating an alibi with his pre-recorded speech. If we consider the facts, then Lady Justice was moved in order to...
Probably point us to the body?
Professor Means used his pre-recorded speech to fake an alibi during the mock trial. He wanted to make it look like he couldn't have possibly moved the body. Moving Lady Justice was his way of pointing us to the body and cementing his alibi.
Ugh. That's quite a persuasive argument. For a while there, I thought you weren't taking the trial seriously. Well done. You should never underestimate me, Athena Sykes. That was more Blackwell's voice. Professor Means always means what he says, and says what he means by all means.
Fine then, say it already. I'm waiting.
The murder occurred the night before. The body wasn't found until late the next day. Countless students passed the stage till they met in the lecture hall for the mock trial. So answer me this. Why didn't anybody see the body that entire time?
That can be explained by,
Victim was murdered on the stage and left there. The body would inevitably have been discovered. And of course, there was nowhere to hide a body upon that stage. This isn't good, Athena. Our claim is this close to being beaten to a pulp.
I know, but we've come so far.
Consider yourself schooled. I couldn't possibly have killed anyone. The killer is none other than Juniper Woods. It always has been and it always will be.
Just wait a minute.
Or Juniper. You must seriously regret having asked you to defend her. And to add insult to injury, you nearly had Hugh convicted for murder. Surely you haven't forgotten that little fiasco. Not only did you fail to defend your client, you also raised false charges against her friend. You have no right to call yourself a lawyer. If this trial proceeds in the same manner and ends in the same way as the mock trial, would you not lose everything you worked so hard to gain?
Well, I'll just have to make sure that doesn't happen then, won't I? Don't tell me I've failed once again. Failed to save someone near and dear to me. I've worked so hard to become a lawyer, and even studied psychology. Has it all been for naught? Am I just doomed to relive that all over again?
Athena? What's wrong?
Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Relax, Athena. Breathe. It's not working. Everything's going dark. After all I've done, is this how it ends? Forgive me, Junie. I couldn't protect you like I said I would. You leave Athena alone, man. She's the one who saved me. It was because of Athena that I could stop hiding and start living my life as a girl again. And she saved the friendship between Hugh, Juniper, and I. I think you're an awesome lawyer, Athena. One of the best. But I raised false charges against Hugh. And that's not all. I've done some seriously unforgivable things.
What's the big deal? False charges are nothing to be scared of. And I'm not even mad at you. I should really be thanking you. You used legitimate means to expose my wrongdoings and give me a chance to re-examine what's important.
But what does it matter if I can't save Juniper? I mean, the whole reason I've come so far is... It's not over yet, Athena. Even now, at this very moment, I still believe in you. Junie. I know you better than most people, Athena. And I know you'd never surrender to the dark age of the law like the professor did. Thank you, Junie, but I feel like I can barely breathe. I don't know what to do.
Silence.
Stop your bleating this instant. You look an utter fool.
Prosecutor Blackquill.
There is one who awaits you. Is there not? And that is the reason you've studied so very hard. Are you prepared to give up on all you have worked for thus far? It would not do to have you disappoint you-know-who. You're wasting your time. You have nothing on me. No evidence or anything else to establish my guilt. You're helpless before the might of lawyers, for whom the end justifies the means.
Objection!
Don't worry, Athena. You're doing fine. The truth will always win against people like him.
But, Apollo, what am I supposed to do now?
Listen, all you have to do is take a deep breath and look back over the entire case. If there's truth to be found, and there always is, you're sure to find it. Now let me see you smile. Remember what Mr. Wright said? The worst of times are when lawyers have to force their biggest smiles.
Thanks, everyone. You don't have to worry about me now. The worst of times are when lawyers have to force their biggest smiles. Athena Sykes is psyched and ready to rock. Prepare for your utter defeat. Professor Court wasn't killed in the art room. She was killed right where her body was found. We know because there wasn't any time to move the body there from somewhere else. That means the body had to have been hidden somewhere on stage until it was found. Let's think along these lines and see where it takes us. First up, when did Professor Means remove the body from its hiding place? Well, let's see. What was he doing right before the body was discovered? He was using the span of time his fake alibi created to move the body to where it would be more easily spotted. Therefore, the only time Professor Means could have removed the body from its hiding place is...
during, I assume?
It was during the mock trial, specifically...
During the speech.
Professor Means moved the body to an easily seen location during his long pre-recorded speech. The professor also moved something to the stage that wasn't there before, specifically...
The white statue.
During the mock trial, Professor Means wrapped the White Lady Justice in the school banner and sent it zipping down the stage with a crash, killing 2 birds with 1 stone. He drew attention to the body and made it look like the murder occurred in the art room. But was there anywhere to hide the body on the stage? It doesn't seem likely.
Yeah, don't worry. We do find out about Athena's backstory. It's brought more into focus in case 4 and 5.
No, there had to be some place. Wait a second. How about something that should have been finished but was only mostly done? Something that was used to cover the body up, but didn't draw undue attention because it looked like it belonged there on stage. In that way, nobody would suspect there was a body hidden inside. What was already on stage and capable of concealing a body?
Oh!
Oh, I know. The Mr. Right statue was never actually finished. The body was wrapped under some cloth to hide what was really inside, cleverly disguising it as the boss's statue. Miss Newman gave up on the right statue, yet Professor Means finished it in a single night.
Yes, what an impressive feat that was. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking.
Objection!
No, his so-called work of art deserves none of our praise. That's because it was only a facade to hide his real work, the murder of Professor Court.
Again, I'm afraid I don't follow.
He hid the body by making it look like the statue of Mr. Right. With the body wrapped under a piece of cloth, it looked just like a statue.
What? I second that. What? Huh. Now this is getting interesting. No, this is getting preposterous. How would such a thing even be possible?
Objection!
We'll never know until we try.
Uh-oh. I think I know where this is going.
Okay, Apollo. Time to turn me into a reasonable likeness of Mr. Right. I'm going to pose like the statues, like so. And now I want you to wrap me up in cloth so I look like a statue.
I hate to ask the obvious, but where am I supposed to get this magical cloth? Time to rotate a fucking jar. Afraid that isn't the right color, Mr. Justice. Well, given how sudden the request was, it's kind of the best I could do, Your Honor. Alright, I think that about does it.
Well, what do you think, everyone? Do I look just like a statue of Mr. Right, or what?
Looks like some random person to me. Are the statues a pair of busts?
Phoenix Wright has that spiky hair on the back of his head. Forget the hair, the statue's head is way bigger than your average person's anyway. You gotta hand it to me for trying anyway. Wait, that's it, the hands. Her arms are raised over her head, and there are dark bruises around her wrists.
Yeah, the professor is probably tied up with something.
The marks on her wrists indicated that she'd been tied up. Apollo, tie me up in a new pose. Wait, you're not into this kind of thing, are you?
Wow. That's a good line. What? No. Besides, it was your idea. Just tell me how to tie your hands already.
Professor Court's wrists were tied together, and I can't help but think that that's related.
Clavier's in the crowd smiling, yeah.
How should I arrange myself to match the shape I want, given her hands were tied? Apollo, tie both of my hands behind my head. See? This makes it possible to fake the spikes on the back of Mr. Wright's head.
Sure, but then what about the statue's arm? Both arms behind your head, you can't exactly complete the pose.
Yeah, it would be awfully hard to make the objection pose like this.
I can't help thinking you've forgotten something, Athena. Something on the body that you don't have right now.
What did the victim's body have that I don't?
Take that!
Oh, right, there was an arrow sticking out of her side. Okay, Apollo, take that and plunge it into my side.
What, are you crazy?
Fine, go get some duct tape. Rapido, schnell.
Alright. I don't need to know other languages to know bossy when I hear it.
The fatal arrow to the side. Spiky hair created from 2 hands. A masterpiece in the making. Now cover me with that cloth. But remember to make the arrow stand out, okay? Mommy, the arm's too short. Shh, remember your indoor voice, dear.
Nobody's buying it. The arrow's nowhere near long enough.
But... what else could you use for the arm?
Still won't give up, eh? I must commend you, if only for your spirit and determination. Of course she's not giving up. After all she's put me through, she owes me an explanation. And one that makes sense. Now disappoint me again and the penalty will be doubly painful.
Yikes. I guess I'd better get it right this time. Think, Athena, think. Professor Court was murdered when she stopped by the stage to see Professor Means. If it wasn't premeditated, she must have used something close at hand in this little ruse. Or he must have used that, whatever. Apollo, show me those stage setup photos again.
Like that? Right now? Okay, hold on.
Please, 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 please be in this photo. It just has to be. The arm of the Mr. Right statue is really this right here.
Some of the wood, I guess, maybe?
Take that!
Look at this. This makes an even better arm than Mr. Wright's own appendage.
This right here? Mr. Wright's not gonna like this.
Never mind. I retract my previous statement.
That's all very well and good, but I won't retract your penalty.
Sacre bleu.
It's not the staff, like, means a staff, is it?
Take that!
Got it. I know what he used for the arm on the statue of Mr. Wright.
This is absurd. There's no such thing in this photo.
Don't play dumb with me, Professor. It's the staff you have right there.
Staff? This is the spear of a great legal warrior.
Whatever, just hurry up and lend it to me. The length is perfect. Mr. Wright couldn't possibly object to such an awesome arm. Okay, go for it, Apollo.
Sure, I'll give your arm a hand. Cloth and binding coming right up.
Objection!
It's Phoenix Wright. Look, it's that famous lawyer.
That's definitely him. I'd know that pose anywhere. We did it, didn't we?
Well, am I not the spitting image of the legendary Phoenix Wright? The man who will bring us all out of these dark ages and into an era of brilliant golden light.
Golden light. All I see before me is the pink specter of a man.
That's just because Mr. Wright likes his statue. He's positively tickled pink. Get it, Apollo? He's tickled pink.
Blah, that joke deserves a pink slip. Seems the gallery is quite impressed with the defense's sharp thinking. And the witness? Blah. The resemblance is nothing more than a coincidence.
Objection!
Not so fast there, Buster. Unfortunately for you, I can prove my theory to be more than mere coincidence. To prove that this spear was thrust into the victim, all we have to do we'd assume the victim's jagged wound came from the arrow being forcibly shoved in. But if the wound was from the spear instead, then we should be able to detect traces of the victim's blood on it.
Your Honor, brief recess, if you will. By any means possible. What if I get rid of my spear? But what if I burn it? If I do that, I'll be found innocent. Yes, I'm innocent, I tell you.
Objection!
Surely you don't expect us to take lectures from you now. Now I ask you in the gallery, help me decide the professor's fate.
Eh. He's taking his sweet time. Prosecutor Blackwell, what has become of our witness, Aristotle Means? Gee. It is as Sykes Dono suspected. Blood was detected on his staff. He has admitted to this heinous crime. All of it. He'll join us in the clink tomorrow. His teaching skills can be put to good use there.
Great. He'll teach felons that the end justifies the means. So much for rehabilitation.
Can I ask what the professor's motive was?
Huh. I could barely make out a word he said on account of his shattered teeth.
One of Blackcoal's fellow inmates was once a surgeon. Why not a former dentist, too?
Eventually, I had him put pen to paper. It turns out Professor Means was the one taking bribes. The victim had suspected him after a report from the class snitch. That led her to question him at length the day of the killing. Right there on that stage. The result? The heinous crime that was brought before this court. The fool, like Newman, had come to know of the script's contents via the victim's note. It seems he came up with a plan to stab the victim with her own awl in order to make the killing look like the one in the script. Thus frame the defendant.
But that scrap of paper with Hugh's name had the same mark as Professor Court's planner.
Yes, about that. Those planners are bestowed upon all students graduating at the top of their class.
Really? So then...
Indeed. Once upon a time, Professor Means was also awarded the same notebook. The handwriting is being analyzed now, but like as not, the scrap belonged to him. This, too, was evidence of the bribery scheme that the victim had obtained. Know that Constance Court was clean, and that only Aristotle Means took the bribes. Think a professor would murder a colleague, then try to pin it on a student. Still, if this is the dark age of the law, then we can only hope that a brighter future awaits us. And the first step is to hand down my verdict for a promising young lady. This court finds the defendant, Juniper Woods, not guilty.
You know, I just realized, why is Athena's alt costume, like a normal colored sailor outfit and not just the school uniform from Themis Legal Academy?
I wish you all the best on your road to becoming a courtroom judge. We'll need young people like you. We ever hope to restore the law to its former glory.
Yes, Your Honor. I'll work as hard as I can. Maybe one day I'll be able to work with all of you to make a difference.
Proudly serve Professor Court's memory. Do not let her death be in vain.
Well, she didn't go to that school. Yeah, but like, it's an alt costume, like... Like, we put we put Phoenix in the fucking Furio Tigre outfit for his alt costume. He never wore that costume.
That's the last thing I expected to hear from him today.
Court is adjourned.
I actually don't remember. Is the Furio Tigre outfit in this game, or is it in Spirit of Justice? I think the Furio Tigre outfit is in Spirit of Justice because, I think his alt outfit in this one is just his normal outfit, like from the original trilogy.
Thank you, Thena. I really mean it. It was nothing, really. I can take the biggest tangled mess of a case and unravel it all, just like that.
I don't know. You looked pretty wound up in there at the end. Literally and figuratively.
You look pretty hungry for a knuckle sandwich, Buster. I wanted to thank you too, Apollo.
Don't mention it. It's the spirit of justice alt for Phoenix.
The way you were always there for Thena when she was in a bind. And at the detention center where your smile gave me hope when there was none. It was like the warm rays of the sun shining down on peaceful woodlands. I think you're an absolutely amazing person.
Thanks, Juniper. That means a lot to me. But I still have lots of work to do. I can't wait until we see you on the judge's bench.
I promise you, I'll get there someday.
Athena's Spirit of Justice alt costume is Maggie's maid outfit.
And that's why until that day, I'll... Guys, I've got some big news. I mean, this is huge. Oh, am I interrupting something? No, it's okay. I think. So, what's the big news? The school festival. It was supposed to have been canceled after what happened, but...
We just got a call. In memory of Professor Constance Court, who worked so hard to make it happen. The festival's being extended 1 extra day until tomorrow.
Really? Alright.
We've got a special treat for all of you. A love letter for Themis Legal Academy. Achtung, baby. It's time for the
I don't
guitar
like your voice.
serenade.
I don't like your official voice. We don't get to hear Junie sing.
Wow, that was so much fun. School festivals are amazing.
Okay. Clavier is actually American. His whole thing is, he is American because, you know, Kristoff is also American. But he studied in Germany.
I think you and Robin are getting a little carried away. Your singing voice, Juniper. It could melt my H-E-R-T.
H-E-R-T. H-E-A-R-T. Wow. It was on screen and I still misspelled it. Fuck. H-E-R-T. Perfect. Or hurt. Yeah, exactly. Mr. Wright, thank you for that training seminar. Just remember the objection post is all about the attitude. Oh, and congrats on your mock trial win. Although Robin had you for a while there.
I did, didn't I? But I'm just glad we're back to how we used to be, thanks to Athena. And you know what? I think I'll stick with becoming a prosecutor after all. I'm going to make up for my mock trial loss by winning the real deals in court.
You broke me heart.
Mock trial loss? What loss? Wait, did they reprise the mock trial and Hugh won? Level-headed lawyer course genius and hot-blooded prosecutor course student. We'll go head-to-head in a mock trial battle for the She-Devil's Black Heart.
Where is Scuttlebutt?
Okay, so does this mean it's really gonna happen?
Juniper, there's something I've been wanting to say to you. We're gonna have to put you in jail, buddy.
Huh? Oh, is he going to do what I think he is?
Juniper, can we still be friends? You know, best friends, like we've always been.
Huh? Best friends? Weren't you going to profess your love for Juniper if you won the mock trial?
No, I was going to confess that I'm not a genius, and that I'm really 25 years old. But you already dragged it out of me during the trial.
Whoops. Listen, Hugh. You too, Robin. Miriam? Me too? Miriam's got this tactical espionage espionage action stuff down to a science.
Also, another Metal Gear reference.
I've been thinking. It's up to us to put fuck! I had this whole speech prepared and I fucked it up on the first sentence. It's up to us to put an end to the Dark Age of the Law if we can. Let's all work together to usher in a new age, where winning only results from the truth. And the end never justifies the means. Count me in.
I wouldn't have it any other way.
Best friends forever, huh? No matter what anyone says, nothing beats true friendship.
You bet. And what about your BFF, Apollo?
Aren't you a bit old to be using that word? But yeah, he's the best friend a guy could have. Brain damage time, yeah. Which reminds me, we're supposed to meet up and gossip about the new girl in the office.
Hey, no talking about me behind my back. So, what kind of guy is he anyway?
Well, if I had to describe him in one word.
And so, after some slight arm twisting, Apollo promised to bring me to meet his friend. Fuck! But not long after, their friendship was mercilessly severed by fate. And the bonds between us began to fray and unravel as well.
Sorry, but I'll be taking a leave of absence.
Even now, those words continue to ring in my ears. The discord in our ever-cheerful Apollo's voice made him sound so cold and distant. Why, Apollo, why? Why would you leave us all behind?
Congratulations, Athena. You got one starring role in a case. It will never happen again. What is a... This is not the Temis Legal Academy uniform. Their outfits are black. Wait, they have the sweater for Phoenix as well? Start it so we can see Apollo get brain damage. But Apollo getting brain damage doesn't happen until halfway through this case. Oh, Sachi. Or at least I'm pretty, like, we can watch, okay. I will let us watch the opening cutscene. But that is all. Because I don't want to start this case and then get roped into trying to finish this case. Because if I get roped into trying to finish this case immediately, then I'm going to have to play through case 5 as well. Because this case runs directly into the front end of Case 5. Courtroom bombing incident. Terrible attack launched by the will of a madman. That incident perfectly symbolized the state of the legal world in this dark age of the law. Mr. Wright brought it to a resolution of sorts. Ted Tonate was discovered to be the one responsible for the bombing. I can't scroll all the text all at once. Only it were that simple. Somehow I can't help but think. I can't scroll the text at once, so I have to adhere to the scroll. But there's a darker influence at work. One that's lurking in the shadows, waiting. That's why I want to review the trial that was taking place when the bombing occurred. After all, I've got more than a few personal stakes in it.
Remaining until launch. Please begin your final equipment check.
Check complete. Everything's A-okay. We're ready here whenever you are.
Come in at 2. Come in. Do you copy?
Question. Okay, we can go back. Unfortunately, that promise was never meant to be fulfilled, for not long after their friendship was mercilessly severed by fate, and the bonds between us began to fray and unravel as well. Okay. I accidentally skipped some of this because the stupid-ass text scroll auto-scrolled the thing. No. Back to menu. Don't save. Yes. Okay. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed. I'm gonna open the load game screen to cover up potential spoilers. Because the little montages that they have in each of the games show major spoilers in some of them. So yeah, give me just a sec and we'll find someone to raid. I am not likely to be streaming tomorrow unless, you know, I get work off or I get off work early or whatever. So I am going to take a break from Ace Attorney to give my voice a rest, because as much as I hate to admit it, I've been straining my voice, and it's not like I muscled through it. I probably shouldn't have, but I muscled through it tonight, and I think it still came out all right, and I think my throat should be fine. It just didn't feel great for most of it. So we will be starting something as like a filler game on Thursday. Yeah, I need to like I need to give my voice a rest, because doing all the voices, like, I think the biggest thing with Dual Destinies is that it's wearing me out really fast, because one, Athena is a main character, and so she's present in almost every scene. And two, the fact that I gave like 5 or 6 days of a break between this and Valhalla. And Valhalla was really intense on my voice as well, because it was almost all girl voices. So, so yeah, I'm thinking I might do Metroid Fusion. Because, I've been wanting to play more Metroid. So we might do Metroid Fusion. Another one that I've been tossing around that, if I do, will probably need to be a alternating thing with Dual Destinies, or put it on pause when we go back to Dual Destinies, is, I've been thinking about playing, Spyro, the first Spyro game on stream, because I've never played any of the Spyro games. And I was gifted the Reignited trilogy by a friend. I don't know. Knowing me, it's also always a chance that it's gonna be randomizer, because you know me. Otherwise, give me just a moment and we will find someone to raid. Yeah, I also definitely think that, Spirit of Justice is gonna be another, like, I need to put a break game somewhere in here game. But yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I don't, like, the only reason that I could, like, people don't like Turnabout Academy for some reason, and the only possible reason that I can see for it is either A, not liking the characters, or B, finding the ends justify the means being shoved down your throat annoying. Because, like, they said, like, take a shot every time they say the ends justify the means in that case, and you'll die of fucking alcohol poisoning. Maybe we'll do a Stardew stream. I've been wanting to get back into playing Stardew. Two nights in a row, but let's go poke the turtle. Get him, everyone. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed. I hope to see you here tomorrow. If I end up streaming tomorrow, I'll put out a notification in the Discord. If not, I hope to see you here on Thursday for whatever I end up doing for my break game. And then chances are I'm gonna have to immediately break I'm taking a vocal break to do Monster Road Trip with Sin, Liz, and Ando. So yeah, that'll be fun. But yeah, I guess have a good one and take care.